India has tried to take benefit from the US-China war, forgetting who it is starting enmity with. India has got attention from Western nations because of its connection with China. But India thought it was the world's guru, and it would surpass China's economy soon. The experts are calling this attitude simply silly. They think India has failed to evaluate its actions. Benefiting from war and trying to compete with China by aligning with the US can make the attention India is getting short-lived. But why is India doing it? Let's find out. Welcome back to another exciting episode of our channel. Innovation Diary brings you China's innovation stories, projects, and growing influence in different parts of the world. If you are new to the channel and enjoy learning about fast-paced modernity, especially China's development and growing power, you will find our videos intriguing. In this video, we will discuss why India is bragging about something that does not exist. We will also talk about China's response toward India, calling it the world guru. Watch the video till the very end to know what impact this will have on India. Let's get started. India, a new pawn in the US-China rivalry set by the US, has begun to create fantasies. And these fantasies do not look like they are coming true anytime soon. India never hesitates to brag about itself, even when there is nothing to brag about. Recently, India has called itself a teacher to the world. So the question arises, what is India's role in this grand power struggle? And what can it offer to the world as it proclaims itself a Vishwaguru, or teacher to the world? India's foreign policy has often been described as pragmatic and opportunistic. It seeks to be all things to all people, carefully balancing its relationships with major global players, especially the United States and China. This balancing act reflects India's desire to maximize its gains on the world stage while avoiding distressing its powerful neighbor China. India is the only nation that is willingly trying to take benefits from war other nations are dying to avoid. India's biggest challenge lies in maximizing the benefits of its relations with the United States without provoking China. The delicate balance it seeks to maintain is almost like walking on a tightrope. On one hand, India is keen to leverage its growing strategic importance for economic and security gains from the United States. On the other hand, it cannot afford to undermine its long-standing ties with China, which shares a contentious border and a complex history. But what motivated India to benefit from this Cold War? The credit for motivating India to take benefit from the war goes to the US. It caused India to have problems with China. This way, the US created a new problem for China to distract it. The border tensions between India and China have been significantly influenced by the great power rivalry between the United States and China. Indian Army Chief General Manoy Pandey has even warned that this rivalry could potentially escalate into a larger conflict along the disputed border between the two Asian giants. These tensions highlight the intricacies of India's position in the global landscape. India has decided to take some actions that played against it, like not agreeing on the border tensions with China, and these moves were done with US support. A Chinese military academic has argued for the stability of a three-legged stool, consisting of China, India, and the United States. This viewpoint highlights China's recognition of India's role in maintaining regional stability and balance of power. It also suggests that China acknowledges India's growing importance in the global arena. But does this make India a Vishwaguru? Before we continue further, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel for more videos about China's development, power, and influence on the world. Let's continue now. The claim that India is a Vishwaguru, or teacher to the world, is met with skepticism by many. It is essential to explore what India could potentially offer to the global community, given its unique position and challenges. India has never hesitated to brand itself as the world's largest democracy, a title that it thinks reflects its political system and values. However, in recent years, the Indian government, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, has faced criticism for its perceived authoritarianism and repression. This contradiction raises questions about India's role as a model of democracy for the world. The allegations of repression in India have gained international attention. For instance, on September 18, 2023, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made statements in his country's parliament regarding credible allegations linking the killing of a prominent Canadian Sikh to agents of the government of India. Such allegations raise concerns about India's commitment to democratic values and human rights. The experts ask what India has to teach to the world, and the question does carry value. What can India teach the world that a global power like China is not teaching? India is thinking, the world revolves around it. It is good to keep the people motivated and inspired, but this should not go beyond the reality. While most of the nations value India, they think calling itself a world's teacher is too big of a claim. India's economic growth has been impressive in recent years, making it the world's fifth largest economy. However, even if India were to sustain an annual growth rate of 5%, its per capita GDP would only reach about 30% of the United States levels by 2050, and it won't even be able to surpass China by then. This projection places India's economic development far behind that of China, which has lifted hundreds of millions of its citizens out of poverty over the last 4 decades. The experts are saying that India can surpass China in population, but they are not sure if its economy can do the same. China's remarkable economic success story has garnered global attention. With its rapid industrialization, technological advancements, and poverty reduction efforts, China has become a model for other developing countries seeking economic development. The stark contrast in economic achievements between India and China raises questions about India's ability to offer valuable lessons to the world in this regard. According to the experts, India is slowly trying to compete with China. It is trying to take advantage of the US-China Cold War. It also claimed that it would surpass all the nations in every sector. But all these claims from the Modi government are indirectly pointing towards surpassing China. Some people also think that India is doing it intentionally and was asked by the US to do it. But let's understand if India can surpass China, and if not, why not? The reason why India is getting a lot of attention recently is because of its connection with China. Being an Asian nation and being China's friend, India got the limelight. From all the Western nations, the reason why India is important is because of its connections with China. They want to use India against China, and India is thinking it is the world's teacher. But what will happen if India keeps believing in this lie? It affected India's attitude toward China. China has become a new power. China took decades to change the world order. And now after it has, it is almost silly to assume that India will surpass China. It might do it one day, but right now, the claim only sounds absurd. Believing in an unrealistic idea can have significant consequences, especially in international relations. India's belief that it can easily surpass China might not hold up in the face of reality. India must reevaluate its approach to China and build a relationship based on a more realistic understanding of the global power dynamics. This arrogant attitude makes India deal with China differently, and this will only result in India losing a good friend. China won't continue the same relations with India, knowing it is benefiting from the China-US war. And this would result in India losing the limelight it very recently got. India's position in the global landscape, particularly in the context of the US-China rivalry, is undeniably crucial. As it strives to maximize its gains while balancing its relations with the United States and China, India faces complex challenges. India needs to rethink its approach. It has to figure out the consequences of what it's doing right now with a long-term approach. We would like to take a moment here and appreciate you all for commenting and sharing your opinions. Your insights always impress us. Do you think India is in the state to compete with China? Can it even face an angry China? Is aligning with the US the right thing to do for India? Don't you think the US is just using India? Let us know in the comments section. Where do you see India headed? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to get exclusive videos about how phenomenally China is developing and growing its influence over the world. Until the next video, stay tuned.